it's quite common that people don't arrive on time, or they don't arrive with enough time, to feel comfortable and prepared and be ready to start answering questions. So I think, that's a really obvious one.
When people come in for interviews, a common mistake I see people make is one, lack of preparation. So did you do some research? Did you prepare to know what questions to be prepared to answer? And then did you do research on the company? And if you come in not prepared, that's an easy thing that stands out to me.
If you're looking for a job, you want to come into the place of business that you're looking for. For us, the restaurant. If someone calls me and says, hey, I'm looking for a job, yeah, we might be hiring, but it shows a little effort that you care, that you have transportation, that you can get to an interview on time.
Sometimes people are not truthful. And you think that doesn't matter, or you think that, well, they're not going to know. But usually when you're not being truthful, it shows. A good interviewer can kind of see through that. So make sure that you're honest. I think that's very important.
I always give a tour for an applicant, and if they don't greet an older resident or an elder, don't greet them or smile at them, I won't consider them for the job. And if they don't seem interested during the tour, then I'm not interested in them.
I think you almost can't overdress for an interview. That's always my advice. So wear your best. If you have a nice suit, you're going to feel confident the nicer you're dressed. But also don't go spend money you don't have for clothing that you may never wear again, right? So wear your best.
Cleanliness is very important. So when someone's coming in, even if they're looking for a dishwashing position, it's really important that they look like they've had a haircut. They look like they've showered, like they've put on some clean clothes. They're not frumpy and look like they just rolled out of bed.
Well, when I interview someone, I expect them to have eye contact. I expect them to seem interested in the job and ask questions. In a nursing home, we can teach skills, but we can't teach compassion. So I look for some kind of a stream of compassion or empathy for elderly people.
I think you've got to be polite to everybody that you come into contact with during that interview process. You never know who's going to be talking to that HR manager after you leave. So whether that's the person at the front desk, the receptionist, whether it's just someone who holds the door open for you on the way in, just having that extra courtesy and being able to, have a smile and be friendly and warm to everyone you meet, because you don't know all of the pieces of the hiring puzzle.
When we're interviewing someone, attitude is one of the first things that stands out to me. So it's important because it gives an indicator to us as to how you're going to fit in, what your work ethic is going to be, what kind of a team player are you going to be, what kind of initiative might you have in any role, regardless of what role you're interviewing for.
And when you apply for a job, just because you've had a felony or a misdemeanor does not mean you're not going to be hired for the job. But every home will do a background check.
I think the best thing that people can do when they have trouble in their past is to get out in front of it, to deal with those things head on, because a lot of times when a background check is done, we don't get any context of those things, and perhaps there are some circumstances around it that would help allay an employer's fears on that past.
And talk about that with the interviewer. And where you are today and what you've learned and kind of where you're going, what your goals are. Everybody has things that they need to explain, right? We all do. And so be prepared to talk about that. I think that's very important. It's a little bit of an exhausting process. And sometimes it can be discouraging or feel discouraging, particularly if you interview a time or two and you don't get a job. And so what I want you to know is that there is hope for you to get a job. There are a lot of jobs out there, and there are a lot of employers looking for good people that want to work.
My advice to someone struggling in the job market would be to find a place to start. I mean, I know that's a silly thing to say, but to me it doesn't matter where you start. It matters that you start. So even if you cannot find the position that you really want, find a way to get your foot in the door in an area that you're interested in or in a company that you're interested in, And once you do that, people will notice what you do, how you do it, how you perform, and they pay attention to that, and that sets you up for future success.